Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Bremont U2 DLC, manufactured in London. You can see this Bremont U2 DLC on our website, purchase it there, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time to see our full listing for this watch with additional accessories included, more high-resolution images, and naturally complete pricing details. Now you can see on my wrist 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference. This watch, after its namesake high-flying spy plane, features a subdued tactical look, low profile at night, but with a striking visual signature in broad daylight. It's not oversized, it's not undersized. 43 millimeters across the broad of the case from 9 to 3. This is a contemporary sports watch without stepping into the bounds of the truly oversized and overwrought. Now, 14 millimeters thick for a watch of this size is quite reasonable, and with a gently sloped conical bezel and domed sapphire, this is actually a fairly easy watch to fit underneath a tight sleeve or dress cuff. From lug to lug, again, large but not excessive. 50 millimeters between extremities. This is an easy watch to wear on my 16 centimeter wrist, and I believe that down to about 14 centimeters, you should still be able to wear this one with a good sense of style and proportion and security. Now the case is diamond-like carbon coated via PVD, and it is stainless steel, so it has good weight to it, but you have that sense that you're wearing a premium, high-value, luxury timepiece. Again, sometimes weight can be oppressive, but at the same time, with a substantial watch, you don't want it to feel feather light, and this watch does a good job of splitting the difference between mass and class. You'll also note that the conventional aviator's calfskin strap, exceptionally thick and beautifully bolstered with a contrasting vintage-style stitch, is completely unconstrained by the case flank such that you can pull it down around the tight curve of your wrist. So again, right down to about 14 centimeters, I think this watch is sized nicely with a nice semi-conforming spring bar strap setup to work well with a smaller wrist. It also has a nice, easily adjusted blackened steel pin buckle for quick on-the-fly changes. Now the dial of the watch and the case of the watch kind of recall a different era, not so much of pilot's watches, but of dive watches. I see the twin crown layout and the internal rotating bezel, and I think of the super compressor dive watches of the 60s. JLC, Longines, IWC, and many others used the case design. It's rare to see the layout in the modern era, however, but it does have its benefits. Now, before we jump straight into the dial, we should talk a little bit about the case, which features a unique vaulted lug design over a textured center case, very much in the style of Bremont's well-known Martin Baker design. The knurling adds another level of visual articulation, and it's visually quite distinct from those vaulted lugs and case flanks, so it almost creates a modular look to the case itself. Very technical, most apropos for a watch in an aviation bent. You'll also note that the dial is pretty basic. It's exactly what you'd expect of an aviation-themed timepiece. You have indices, you have numerals, you have a date, and then you have a marquee, and that's about it. Now, you use the crown at 4 o'clock to rotate the bezel. It is bidirectional rotating in aviation style. I should note that it is internal and so secured against being bumped, so you can't really accidentally extend a dive if you do use it as a dive watch, and with 100-meter water resistance, it's fairly well suited to that application. Just remember to swap out for a textile strap. Now, the date function is an interesting one because this watch is actually bilingual. Bremont is not the name of the founders of the company, but rather a French farmer who sheltered the English brothers, the founders of the company, during an emergency landing from the 1990s. Now, they named the watch company of their own manufacturer after that farmer, Bremont. It was his last name. And this watch, perhaps in a tribute to that French farmer, features both English and French language day disc indications. So Monday is actually preceded by lundi, and then, you have mardi, vendredi, mercredi, samedi, dimanche. They're all in there. So I'm not sure if that's a deliberate tribute to the namesake of the company or just a coincidence, but it is a feature of this specific unit. It also has a double quickset for both day and date, beautifully loomed, easily legible in low light or no light conditions. On the case back, solid, held down by screws with the famed Martin Baker logo. This watch, although part of the U2 line within the Bremont catalog, has a lot of visual lineage, both in terms of its design and in terms of its proportions to the well-known Martin Baker line. A versatile watch, a handsome watch, and with a size that, again, is kind of betwixt and between average sized and oversized, it might be just right sized for you. You can see this Bremont U2 DLC stainless steel and purchase it on our website.